Okay, welcome back to Armaguy's channel, guys. I'm gonna run the training this time for the June 25th Steam version, and I'm gonna check and see what changes have been made to that. So, without further ado, I'll get right into it. So, let's, here we are. We're going to Training Center. This shouldn't take long, and I say that, but we'll see.
Welcome to the training center at Aura Prime. The center currently operates in automatic mode.
I really liked the music and the audio that he did for the lady in the training center. It's really nice. I don't know what any of this stuff is yet. I haven't even asked. And I'm really curious as to what this is. It's been here since I first started playing. I'll go ahead and download it. But okay, so let's go ahead and get into the training. Let's grab this cup of coffee. I like to be thorough when I'm doing these. I know I don't have to grab that, but so if you look out here, you've got one of these sentinels up on the roof, and then you've got these different ads and stuff. That's all in the game. I didn't notice that before. They actually got a vehicle in here. Okay. So it looks like everything's here. We can go ahead and continue on this time. So we'll equip the backpack with Q. We'll come over here and grab our air tank. Grab the battery. And we only need one air tank for the purpose of this tutorial. It's going to tell you about the battery and such. Let's just go ahead and install the battery and install the air tank into their locations. And we just run a check. Battery and oxygen installed. Yes, it is. The next area. Here we have the loyalty recycler. It's going to kind of explain to you when you read this here what it is. Now, this is an older version of training, so even though it's an updated version, it may not have the other recyclers, and he may never end up adding them to this training. But now we have a loyalty smart recycler, which is this one that allows, it says food, but I believe the newer version of this recycler probably at some point will be added, but the newer version includes medical and food. And we also have now a junk recycler, which currently just a little cow is the only junk that can go into that. And then we also have another machine, the ration machine. I can't remember the exact name of it. It's the ration machine. And it allows you to use your loyalty points to buy rations. I've used it a couple times in my gameplay. So here we'll have this locked container, and you can't get into it without the crowbar, so you can just come over here and you grab this crowbar. We'll just crack it open with this crowbar. You just click here, break in. Alright. And now, so you used to have to drag each one of these. We really don't need all of these, but let's go ahead and do this anyway so I can show you how the loyalty recycler works. Now you can just click and drag anywhere in here and just drag it on over. So we'll go over here to the loyalty recycler. Everything that we don't need, which we're already... Training backpack, we don't have to click this because this is all we really have. So we'll put in some cans of water. And before you do this, what I actually should have done is went ahead and fed and hydrated my character. So let's go ahead and just leave this, let that go, and you'll see. So we got 200 loyalty points for that. Because you get pretty decent loyalty points for packages of food and water and med kits. So let's go to stuff. We'll go to, we don't even have to click food, but any other time I'd click food. And we'll go ahead and eat. We'll get completely full. Most rooms require that you're full and hydrated in order to continue on. We'll do that. And now in this instance, if you're indoors and your visor is open, you'll want to drink these cans of water, and you'll also want to eat these normal packages. Anything with the straw is used for while you're wearing your suit with your visor closed. The straw essentially hooks up to your suit, and you can eat it in an unoxygenated environment. So this would be for exploring, this would be for exploring, and this is for indoors, and this is for indoors use, or an area in which you could have your visor open. So let's go ahead and go back over to the loyalty recycler. And we'll just go ahead and drop this in here. Where's that donut? That in there. So just items that it doesn't seem like it gives you very much. Those are the items that you probably want to put in the loyalty recycler. They do add up, as you can see here. We'll just, I'm going to keep a couple of these MREs on me and water. Got 66 loyalty points from just a couple of cups of coffee and a donut. So now it's going to say fully fed and hydrated, and that's just what we did. So we'll just continue. And then here is the I'm calling it like a sentinel, but it's basically a tracking drone tripod. So that it doing that is a bug that it shouldn't be doing. It's a very small bug though. So here we introduce the different types of kits. That should have actually been a trauma kit. We'll go to stuff, and you just go to med gear, and it shows you all your current meds. So it'll tell you here, hold shift to run, double shift to sprint. I like the double shift sprint, so I'm gonna just hold W forward, just double shift. And then here, at this training part, you guys should know that whenever you scrap this, using the knife that's here, it will sometimes drop scrap, cloth scrap behind this. It's fine, you don't need it. It's just, this is the tutorial, so it's perfectly fine. If it falls behind there, I will. But it didn't. And we really don't even need all this, but I'm going to go ahead and take it anyway. And the combat knife, essentially, right now, is just a better... That's a really nice looking model. It's just a better version of the kitchen knife. Lasts a little bit longer. It's pretty much all it is. So it makes it so that you can skin items or cut cloth faster than you could with a kitchen knife, provided the condition, which is shown here, is 100% or a little bit more, not more, but above 80 probably. Let's take the combat knife. And then here we have the bandage sterile. This is one of the items that you can make with the blueprint. So we'll just go take that. And then here we have the trauma kit. So back there on the wall, we actually picked up 2 hazmats. We didn't really need that. Obviously, control is crouch. And I'll mention now that even though these are in training, you can actually hit the I command, I button, and you can change any of this stuff right now. He is working on making it, I don't know if he's done it yet, he may have already done this, but he's working on making it so that it saves whatever you change in here, and it'll actually reflect the button that you set it to in here, and that this reset all will actually at some point work. He's also making it to where you can eventually invert mouse. And what am I not missing here? What am I missing? What am I not saying? Let's see. So currently, let me check this real quick. We'll go to crouch, and I'm gonna set it to C. And when I save and exit, if it's still set up the way it was, what will happen is we can now press C to crouch, but we can also press Control to crouch. Yeah, so it's still currently set up where it's saving both commands, which is it's fine. It's not a big deal. Now, to go in and reset all that, what you would actually have to do is go down to where it says crouch, and though it defaulted back by itself, that C is still active because I was still able to do it when I press C. So all we'll do is just hit reset and save and exit, and now whenever I hit C, nothing will happen. So here we're gonna catch a burn, just double sprint. No, we didn't catch a burn. I think I'm just too fast. I'll catch a burn real quick, I'll show you. So now you got a burn. And so with burns, you go to stuff, you can go to med gear, and pretty much any of these will take care of burns. See some wordings here. We'll just use the bandage sterile. And as you can see, the burns are gone. We don't need additional kits here. I'll go ahead and grab this normal bandage to show you the difference. This is one of the first items that you can make without having a schematic for it. It just comes default. That'll be made at the workbench. We'll go ahead and take that. And then we've got more water and food here. We've got a little plastic box. Nothing in it. So, and then we need this. And these types of tools, so we've got the saw, and we've got a crowbar, just basically any types of tools. Certain tools can do other things that other tools can't do. Here we have the body stabilizer, which is great for stopping damage immediately in its place, rebuilding your health, and for a very short duration, stopping all damages of all types until you can make it to wherever you want to go. We just hit spacebar to jump up on this, obviously. And then here we have a drill gun, some bolts, and an extra battery. Another extra battery there. We really don't need all that, it's just extra kit. Speed of injury treatment is critical. Press space to jump, or better, just fall. So when we fall here, we're going to take some damage. And when you have a fracture, if you notice, immediately stamina will zero out. Even if you eat, you can't regen stamina. So you have to fix your fracture before you can continue to sprint or go any faster than what you could walk. So in order to fix a fracture, the go-to is probably going to be the, let's go to med gear. It's going to be the medkit basic. Now, keep in mind, you can't actually use this at all if you don't have the EVA injector. We don't have that. So if I try to use this in training, it'll allow you to do that. But if we go to, yeah, see, we don't actually have that on us, the EVA injector, so that is a requirement. And here we have an additional body stabilizer. So that was one of the issues in training that I think he doesn't realize he's made. He changed the EVA injector, I believe, to the body stabilizer, because the body stabilizer you're actually supposed to find here, not there. So I think he just made that little tiny mistake when he was adjusting some of the stuff in training. Not a big deal. Like I said, in training it seems like it still works without the EVA injector, so you're good. And then ladders can be a little tricky sometimes, like when you're going up on an observation post. Sometimes it'll hang when you're trying to go down, and all you gotta do, like if you're trying to go down, you get hung. Well, we took a little damage. It's alright. It's not a big deal. When you're hung on the ladder, like say you're trying to go up and you can't, or you're trying to come down and you can't, you just kind of move with A and D a little bit, and then you can go back up and down the ladder there. It's a little bit of information for you. Summer sale on now. Okay. Steam's giving me a message there. Here we have the inhaler. I'm going to go ahead and fix our fracture. So we'll go to stuff, go to med gear. And like I said, you can fix it with a bandage, you can fix it with med kit basic. You can only use that, like I said, with the EVA injector. And then for now, I'm going to just use a regular bandage. And that's going to heal our fracture. In theory. Yeah, it did. So the inhaler is for lung damage, and you can actually repair lung damage if you go to med gear and use the hazmat. But primarily what we use hazmat for is going to be irradiation. When you're indoors, you'll use this inhaler to repair your lung damage. When you're outdoors, you'll want to use this. You can use this while you're indoors, but like I said again, you got to have the EVA auto injector. Continue on. This is an additional bag here. This is a front bag. And the front bag works sort of like pockets, and it allows you to carry some additional items. Pockets, it says with quick access, that can be accessed with O. Close the menu here. You just hit O, close the menu. And then if I go to stuff, we'll go down here and remove these matches. And what I'll do is I'll add water, food, and we'll add 1 water for inside here. And now what'll happen when I hit O, these items will be quickly accessed. So in theory, earlier when I accessed it before I put these in here, matches should have shown up, but they didn't. That's not a big deal. So when you're indoors, we'll use this. Can of water there. Oh, not drinking anymore. We don't need another kit. He just gives you additional items that he already gave you, just to make sure that you still have them. You don't need all this stuff, but we're going to go ahead and use it anyway. We'll just leave that there. We don't need to pick it up. You don't need all these knives, because we already have this knife here. You pay attention to the condition. So now we have the condition. So you have mint, which is never used, and then you have used, and then you have worn. And there's probably another condition after using it so many times while it's worn that probably breaks it. But let's see here. So it wants you to sleep before you carry on. You need to make sure you're not fatigued. You do have a little radiation there, so I'm going to use the hazmat kit to get rid of that. Sleep 1 hour. Maybe 2. Might need 2. So it wants you not to go on until you're completely well rested. Okay, so we're well rested now. And now we'll go to the med gear, use our hazmat real quick, and get rid of the radiation. And if you look underneath our operator tab now, you'll see that the irradiation is now gone. We are just a tad hungry and fatigued, but I don't think it's going to count. It's so low. So let's continue on. Fully healthy, fully fed, fully hydrated, rested, fatigued. Continue to the next area. This is where you encounter your first battery charger, at which point you can take. It only shows batteries in your inventory, so if you want to charge the current battery that you have, so go ahead and disconnect by drag and drop here, drag and drop onto the new one. Now if we go into this menu here, we can set this onto the charger. And the battery charger works pretty quick in this game. See, within about, I don't know, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, it'll be fully charged. So we'll come back to that, and then we didn't actually need to pick up the hacksaw. That gives you one back here, but that's okay. It's just another item. So we'll go ahead and scrap the pallet as it asks us to. And all the scrap items will magically drop right in front of us, and we'll be able to just pick it up off the floor. So I'm going to grab one or two of these. I don't think we need all that. It's just all polymer scrap. It's just teaching you how to scrap items. If you were to come over here and scrap this with a hacksaw, and it tells you right here your scrapping time is 16 minutes. And it gives you what materials you can obtain. So you can obtain polymer scrap, metal scrap, PCB, ribbon cable, bolts, and it gives you the amounts of each material that it's going to give you from scrapping it. Let's go ahead and skip that. There's no point in scrapping it. We don't really need those materials. Everything that we need. I don't know what he's doing with this because he moved it. I think we're going to be getting a drill press soon. Cool. Okay, so here's the new workbench. As you can see, it's all well lit. It says workbench. We've even got a little sign back there that says safety first. It's your responsibility. And so we've got a hammer on the bench itself. And then also, if you look down here, oftentimes there'll be a toolbox. Handy there. We've got a maintenance kit. RC50. Cleaning spray, toolbox maintenance. So, blueprint for assembling a survival-ready tool, a reliable kit for maintaining gear, allowing you to clean, protect weapons and other equipment, crafted from readily available rags, and RC53 priming agent. I haven't made this yet, so let's have a look at that real quick and see what that actually requires. We'll go to the crafting menu here. And we will go to the drop down menu, and it does not have it. Let's see. Again. Okay, there he goes. Just had to refresh. So, to make this toolbox, you need a toolbox, craft, cloth, scrap, metal scrap, polymer scrap, and an RC3. So we already have the polymer scrap, and as you get these items, just drag and drop them onto here when you're going to build it. We do have cloth scrap already. We don't have metal scrap. So at this point, let's check this box over here sometimes. It doesn't include the metal scrap for that. Let's go over here and go ahead and scrap this after all. We'll scrap this with a hacksaw. You could have probably also used the... Oh no, you can't use crowbar on that. That metal scrap, that's all we needed. We come over here and let's go to crafting. You don't go to crafting on that. You just pick it up. And here we've got all the ingredients. So we've got the RC53 prime agent, which is used for cleaning guns. Then we've got the polymer scrap, metal scrap we just obtained. The cloth scrap, and then now we need to drag and drop the toolbox that we picked up a second ago. That's 5 uses. So now everything is all selected. Here we go. So you have to be level 1 craftsman in order to craft this. So it doesn't actually want you to craft this after all. It's just something that he added. Which is interesting because this is the area that used to have the ferret blueprint, so I wonder if that was an accident. Let's go have a look in this box and see if the blueprint with the ferret's in it. It is. So it's not an accident. He's probably still working on this. So we've got everything we need here to build a ferret. We already have the toolbox, so there's no need to grab that. We'll grab the screwdriver, PCB, pack of LEDs, the bolts. We only need one ribbon cable now, not two. Precision tools we need. Concentrator MK1, small energy core, and I think the power drill. I think we already had the power drill, honestly. We'll be fine. Okay. Oh yeah, we also need one of these laser batteries. Laser pistol batteries. So you come over here and you press E on the workbench, and we just go to the drop down, prepare it, and just drag each individual component here onto the bench. He's going to change the crafting time on the... Oh, here, it looks like you may have already done it. It was 11 hours, and you had to be super fed and super hydrated and all that before it... And also completely well rested in order to make this. But now it's only 5 hours, so we should be able to make it no problem. So we'll grab the toolkit, precision tools, and the screwdriver. And now we've got everything added in. What you have to do in order to highlight this button here is click Choose Tool. And what that does is that selects the current tool that you're going to build this with. Missing. It's not letting me build it. Oh yeah. So in training he set it to level 2 required. I wonder if he knows he did that. I think he knows he did that. I think I was talking to him yesterday something about this. So this may not be able to be made. Take this out. Typically we would have had craft highlight right there, because in training originally this was a level 0 item, but I think when he updated the game to make this 0 to fix some of the issues we were having for a minute, he forgot to change the level requirement for the ferret, so we may not actually be able to continue in training. Let's have a look. Probably a way to do that. Bolts. Let's see. There's probably a way to continue on. I can probably build my crafting skill, but we're gonna see. This says crafted laser pistol ferret in order to get in. So we do need to do that. And so I'm gonna see in this training level if we can actually obtain crafted level 2, which is a lot of crafting, to be honest, in order to do this. But we do have a lot of scrap. Picked up 4 of these, so let's just see. I'll show you guys how to make the bandage instead for right now. Just click choose, click craft, and I think this makes 4. It might make 2. Okay, it makes 2. And when you craft the bandage sterile, it actually makes 4. Back again to the item, the knife here. Craft again. So we're getting 69 points for every time we do this, and if you go to statistics and you look under craftsman, here we have 138 XP already, but the problem is I need 1,000 to go to the next level, so we actually need 2,000 points in craftsman in order to continue, so I can make the ferret, which I don't know if we can actually do. I'm just going to test and see if we can actually do this in training or not. I don't think so, because I think what'll happen is the knives are going to probably wear down before you can actually make that many. We're going to try though. That's what I'm game testing for. So let's just try. Got a lot of bandages now. But this is the only item currently with level 0 that I can craft. So that's what we're going to craft right I might be able to find some more cloth scrap. I just want to see if it can be done. More than likely, you guys won't want to do this. Got one scrap left. One cloth left. Fuse tool. I think that's gonna be the. Oh, we got one more cloth. Oh no, we got several more cloth. We might be able to actually get this done. Let's see. It's a lot of bandages. Yeah, I know, but I want to see if we can actually get out of this room in training. He's like, y'all want to learn today? You gonna be making some bandages. How much more cloth scrap do we have? Oh, I think there's a bug where it's not removing all the cloth scrap. I still have 4 left there. Well, that bug's kind of helpful because it allows you to make enough of these to continue. Let's see. Maybe. We'll see. You're not gonna mass produce bandages like this in the game. Not unless you just go around gathering every cloth item you see in sight in the entire island. Yeah, so what's going on here is it's not actually removing the cloth. Which is alright. Let's see if it's actually giving us the XP though. Yeah, we're getting there. This is ridiculous stuff because you need a lot of XP to do this. And I think, let's see, toolbox maintenance is level 1, so once we reach 1,000, we should be able to get to level 2 easier in theory. So don't worry, guys. This is gonna be fixed. I'll let him know about it. I'm sure he's aware of some of this stuff. He did tell me that there was an issue with training, but I guess I didn't understand completely that he was saying that you can't actually progress because the level of the requirement needed to make the ferret. But we're gonna do it anyway because why not? We're stockpiling bandages for the colony. That's what we're doing. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're a craftsman level 1 now. How many bandages did that take? Let's see. Let's go to stuff. We'll go to med gear. Let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. What is it? 21, 24. 31, 32, 32 bandages. 32 bandages got us to level 1. Alright, yeah. Okay. Okay. Or Poland. Let's oh, here we've got some extra blueprints. So let's grab these. These will help us get to the next level in crafting. Actually, this might have worked out if I had just checked some of these other containers instead of having to make all these bandages. We'll go ahead and deposit all these bandages if they'll come out of the inventory. It's a lot of bandages. I think later on he'll probably allow you to move items by type, like to drag and drop items by type. So you can just like click over here and then just click move all. Have a little checkbox up here that allows you to move all of the current item in your inventory. So things that you mass produce, you can just easily move. But you probably never end up having to do that because the amount of stuff, you'll never have unless there's a bug, you'll never have like a massive amount of one item. So we'll just keep one on us, and I'm gonna see if the cloth scrap will actually come out of the inventory. So it's infinite in the bench, but it's not in the inventory. Okay, so it does move. It's just infinite for the bench, I guess, so you can progress. So let's now that we have these other blueprints, let's have a look at them. The golden drops is level 2. Sterile bandage is level 1, but we don't have any disinfectant. And then kunai is level 2. That's the one thing I don't think we do have in here is disinfectant. But I'll look. What do you know? Disinfectant. Okay. Let's see if there's any more of that disinfectant, because that would really help us get to level 2. No. Mainly just polymer scrap and stuff. So we got 5. So let's see what we can make out of the sterile. Let's make some sterile bandages. We use this. Switch over to sterile bandage. Use this. And now let's see if it takes our... Okay, now it is. So that was bugged. That was an interesting bug, because now it's taking it from the inventory. Okay, so let's use the tool and craft. You get more XP for making the bandage. You get 317 each. We only really needed, and these, like I said, when you make these, it makes 4 of them. Pick up 4. And then, no. Should still have more disinfectant here. Source. Okay, so now it's not taking the disinfectant. We haven't used one. Interesting. Okay. Tools, knife, click. So we should be able to progress and make the pterodactyl. We just had to make a ton of bandages at first. We can do the rest of the training. Quit doing that. Barrel bandage. Yeah, so it's not using the disinfectant now. Earlier it wasn't using the cloth, now it's not using the disinfect. But that's okay. Kind of good thing. We're trying to get to level 2. And I think we should be pretty close to level 2 now. Look at this. And we'll check our statistics. We're almost level 2. And I guess we'll just go ahead and craft some more of the Feral Bandage, and that'll put us at level 3. Not level 3. Level 2. Click fuel, click use, disinfectant. And we are craftsman level 2. Now we can make the ferret. So let's make the ferret and move on to the next area. Go. Let's go to this. Screwdriver. Go to the lot. Oh, resources. That'll work. I'm starting to call this electrical bacon now. Back LEDs. This here, then we'll go to the lot and grab the ammo, laser pistol battery, and we'll choose tool and we'll craft. And here we have a ferret laser pistol. And now we can move on to the next section. I don't think we need anything else in here. Go ahead and grab one extra can of that there. What's this one? Oh, this polymer scrap. Moving right along. So you can make it through this if you want to do the training. You just have to make a lot of bandages. I don't know that you'll be able to make as many bandages as I made. I just think I ran into a bug that allowed me to continue to use all that. By the way, also, that wall charger where the battery was at, let's go back real quick. We'll grab our battery before we leave here. Off of that charger. We should be getting pretty tired and hungry now, because that was a couple hours of making bandages on the ferret. So let's check our... Yeah, we were pretty tired. We should probably go lay down on that bed. Before we continue any further, we'll go ahead and go have a nap. And water and food's gonna drop, but it's alright, we've got food, so let's just have a nap. Get a little sleepy sleep. Alright, that's good. And we'll go ahead and go to bags. Let's go to food. Drink, because we're indoors. Canned water. Canned water. The rest of that canned water. Pretty much out of canned water, so we'll start on our pack water there. We'll eat the rest of this MRE. We'll eat this other MRE as well. This should be it. Okay, now we can continue on with our training. I should have came in here immediately after I made that ferret because I knew I was going to be tired. That was a lot of bandage making. The ferret actually didn't take that long. We spent more time making bandages, I think, than we did making the ferret. Okay, so now we're at this next part, which it wants to teach you how to use the gun. So you just hit 2, and then 2 again. To equip, unequip, and right mouse button, of course, to... And with the laser gun, you wait till the light turns green again. It's a weaker gun. And when you first make it, you're going to have some pretty weak weapon stats. So if you click weapon, you can see that while the condition was fairly decent, the cleanliness has gone down considerably. And you can perform maintenance on this. We'll just click the... I think you need a bench. We can use the priming agent though. Yeah. We can use the priming agent, or we can use the maintenance kit. Maintenance kit cleans a lot more. See, 94. We'll leave it at that. Okay. So they want us to get a steak from him, so we'll just press E. We can use the combat knife, or we can use the kitchen knife. If you use the kitchen knife, it's 50 minutes. If you use the combat knife, it's 40 minutes. We'll use the combat knife. I think in the future he's going to probably change the word scrap on animals and stuff, and probably change the sound it makes when you're skinning animals, instead of having a rip material, another sound. And if you notice, my heads up display is gone. It's because my battery went dead. We were doing all that, and what happened was I slept with the battery still connected. So remember, when you sleep, just disconnect your battery. Usually I would have told you that, but I wasn't that hard. I was just trying to hurry up the rest so we can continue on to the next area. So they give you these extra containers here to apply items that you don't really need before you go on to the next area. You don't really need to do all that. I'll show you how this little thing works. It's pretty easy. So you just put your food on it, it plops it right on, and you just put it on. And this thing takes a while to cook. I'm not going to stand here while this thing cooks. I'm just showing you how it works. And then you give it probably 30 seconds to heat up. And within a minute or two, it'll go from 0% and it'll start going up. So we got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, etc. So it starts, cooking, and it gets to 100, and it'll turn from baking the slug steak. It will change to baked. If you leave it on there to 150, it'll change to burned. You don't want it to burn. I'm not gonna cook this all the way. I'm just gonna go ahead and just show you how to turn this off. But in here, where it says baking slug steak, it'll actually say baked on the steak. You can eat it raw if you want. There's no real reason to do that. So we'll go ahead and hit E on the legal plate or whatever. It automatically shuts off in 10 minutes anyway. I'm not going to cook this steak. All that it requires for here is that you actually just have a piece of slug meat in here, which we did. We've met the conditions to move on. There's no reason to wait for a cooked meat unless you just don't have any food on you, which if you don't have food, you've done something wrong. Like that's ridiculous that you don't have food, because every room gives you lots of food, so you shouldn't have to worry about cooking a steak to complete form. But if you just want to, I mean, it's fine. It's game time. So here's another pallet that you can scrap down. You don't need to. Like I said, it's just all polymer. And even if you did scrap this, it's not going to let you do anything. I'll go ahead and show you. Click the... Even if you break this down to polymers, that door behind it, it's not going to let you go in there. This is all closed off. These kinds of doors don't actually work in the game just yet. They will. These kind of places will lead to somewhere, I'm sure. So it gives you the screwdriver for this purpose. We already had one. And it gives you the fuses. This is the only time currently that we're going to be using fuses in actual gameplay or in training. It's just showing you how to do this. Later on, you're actually going to be able to interact with these fuse boxes and change fuses and stuff. But right now, you don't need to. So 25 seconds. do. He's got another maintenance kit there. Excuse me. A blue crate, and it's got all these other fuses. It's got a glow stick. I'll show you how to use the glow stick real fast. You're probably not going to use these, but they do come in handy sometimes, so I'll show you. Go to stuff, and just drop that item. And it immediately lights up whatever room you're in, but if you walk up to it and you press, instead of E, press G, that picks it up and that allows you to run with it. See? So you can light your way. As far as I know, these things don't have an expiration, but it's a lot better to have a flashlight, obviously. It's just the flashlight uses a battery. There's that information for you. Here we've got a little bit of food on the ground. We don't need that. Some more food. You're not going to need that either. Here's the injector that I was talking about. Usually, typically, you get that at the very start of the training scenario, but I think what happened was he accidentally changed the emergency EVA injector from the body, or from this to the body stabilizer. So normally you would have to have this in order to use these kits when you're outdoors. So we don't really need any of this stuff on us. We've already got stuff on us. Let's go ahead and use it. We could replan if we needed to, but I've got enough. There's no reason. And so this area is going to introduce you to the helmet and your modules. So you've got the atmospheric module. Again, there's another injector. And we've got the duct tape, which is used for repairing rips in your suit. And if you'll look real quick, I'll show you where it says suit tightness. We have 78% under no helmet. It's over there by CS, where it says air tank 7 liter on our lower right hand corner, right next to where it says battery 8 hour or 8 ampere hour and flash off. It says no helmet and it says suit tightness 78. So we'll grab this pilot helmet, take it, go into outfit and drag it onto the head location, and that will equip our helmet in the training, of course. And now we can patch our suit. If we go to stuff and we go to resource, this is the quickest way to access it. Or you could just, in the lot, if you see it at the top, you can always grab it there. And we're just going to patch that suit until the EVA suit says 100%. So our suit is patched. Go there. And then what we'll do is make sure that we're well rested before we continue on to the next section. And like I said, before you sleep, what you want to do, you want to disconnect that battery so that you're not using battery. You will sleep 1 hour. That was close. Let's do 1 more hour. And as soon as it's max, we'll break sleep. And it's got all this extra stuff. You really don't need any of this stuff. This is just extra equipment laying around. And then here, all it's going to say is, hey, you need to have your battery connected, your oxygen tank installed. So we'll go to the battery connected, oxygen tanks installed. We'll go ahead and equip these modules. The weather module and atmospheric module are both installed. And you can see now we have partly cloudy, wind to 24 degrees Celsius. And all we have to do now is close our visor. Now we need the EVA injector and equipment, which I did grab earlier, showed you, the med gear. If we scroll down, why is it not in the med gear? There it is, but it should be under med gear. I don't know why it's not. Okay. Fully sleeped, which should say well rested. And full, and then we have emergency EVA injector and equipment. Make sure EVA suit is fully integral. It says used it. So that's just to make sure your suit type is at 100. On to the next area. So in this room, it's going to introduce you to a bunch of items that you pretty much already have seen. and they're just kind of laying around and explaining about them a little bit more. But the item that you haven't seen in here is the air charger, which we cannot equip right away. We cannot actually put anything in this yet. What we have to do in order to use this is the oxygen tank, whether it be on your suit or another one, it has to be in your inventory. So we'll disconnect this. I think our battery, our backpack is too full to drop it. Yeah, we're just too full. So where it says 32.4. So all this steak, we're just gonna drop it. We don't need that right now. And the skin as well, because the skin weighs quite a bit. And that should give us, yeah, that's plenty. Now, what we'll do is we'll disconnect the air tank here and drop it into the backpack, and then we can open this right here. I made a mistake.
Low oxygen levels. Check.
So before you disconnect your before you disconnect the air tank, make sure your visor's open. Otherwise, the automated warning will continue to sound regardless of if you have a disconnection or not. So, and then now that our visor's open, now we can disconnect. And then we'll hit E. And that's going to go ahead and charge our air. This one's actually not that depleted. You don't really need to fully charge that, but I'll go ahead and leave that on the charger. We'll grab this new one. And we'll reconnect the air. And as long as our visor's open, we're not going to be using air. And so here, just giving you some more information about the items that it had showed. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to continue on. Maybe you can find a better weapon somewhere. And so here it's going to introduce you to weapons and, of course, armor. So here we'll take the lever plate, and we're going to go into outfit. We're just going to drag that onto the body. And you don't have to take this magazine, you can, but right now we have a laser gun. And so we're going to go down here with our ferret and full confidence, turn on the flashlight, and hope that whatever's down here we can conquer with the laser gun. And this is turning. So that one's the poison gland spider. You can see how he's got his glowing butt on the end. So if you get bit by that, you'll be poisoned. Pretty sure. We got the knee guards. Lots of roaches everywhere. And this is where it's introducing to you all the different types of armor. You could pick up the pistol if you want. You can throw down the laser gun. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's just go ahead and grab all this other armor first. And we're pretty much coming to the end of the tutorial. It's just wanting you to understand how to equip all this stuff so that you can use it. So legs guards obviously goes in the leg slot. Heavy boots obviously goes in the foots. And in America we say feet, of course, but you guys need to have a little bit of patience with this developer and a little bit of understanding that he's not from America and this is a Polish game. So they actually say foots there. So for him, that's totally normal. So arms is going to have heavy gloves. Knee guards is going to be on the legs. Crampons is going to be on the foots. Arms guards is going to be on the arms. And tactical vest is going to be on the body. So we're basically fully kitted out now. The only thing we don't have is the neck guard, which I don't remember if it's in here or doesn't look like it. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and throw this laser pistol down, just to show you how. Backspace drops the laser pistol, and you're just going to hit Q to pick up the new one. And now we've got the... oh yeah, it's a little silly with the gloves on, but it's cool because it actually models the gloves. So, yeah, you can aim down sights with the gloves. It's a little weird with the gloves get in the way, but that's pretty realistic. You can actually see your glove. So, I don't remember if this has a mag already. Oh, it did. It's fully loaded. Okay. So yeah, obviously you just, of course, left click to fire and right click to look at the sights. So this is the pistol, and if we click tab or press tab, you go into the weapon menu, and you can see the condition of the weapon, the cleanliness of the weapon, the weight of the weapon, and it even tells you what type it is. It's an ESH. Standard civil defense model for the Ara Prime colony, modest, accurate, and resistant to sand, used primarily by tech crews before they disappear. And if you want to maintain this, you can just click maintenance, and click this here. Repairs, probably not going to let you actually repair this, even if you have the kit, because you have to be at a workbench in order to do it. I think you have to actually not be at a workbench, but you have to be at the gunsmith bench, I'm pretty sure. So we can clean it though. RC-53 Prime Invasion, or the maintenance kit. And that cleaned it up pretty nicely. And so now what we can do is, you can grab another weapon if you want, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to defeat this little critter here. And we got a pistol jam. And so to clear the jam, you'll hit R. Oh. Pistol's pretty nice. Like, even though it's not a rifle, and even though it does have some jamming problems sometimes, if you keep it clean and you keep it maintained, the pistol's a pretty nice weapon to have. I like it. But I'm gonna go ahead and grab the rifle now. I'm gonna hit 3 to equip the rifle slot, and then I'm gonna hit Q to pick up the rifle. And then here's an SMG mag. And so we'll go over here to the range now. And I'll just open fire on some stuff. You can see the different sights on it. And this has a pretty quick rate of fire too. It'll fire as fast as you can click. This have a little bit of a sway if you fire quickly, but it's pretty effective. I haven't had any issues with it. So. I think that one's also suppressed. This is one of the cool rifles. The scope on it has been adjusted a little bit, so it's a little bit more sensitive than it used to be. But the zoom is pretty good, and whatever you hit with this is pretty much done. It's a pretty strong gun. So we'll go ahead and drop that here. This is the sport rifle. Can usually be found either in the level 2 facility or in observation post by Big S. And then here we have my favorite, the rifle, which has a pretty decent sight to it also. It's my favorite. For one, it's found on Mr. Blizz, the resting place of Mr. Blizz, and a couple other places. But it's got a pretty decent sight to it. It's got a pretty nice sound. And you can also rapid fire this pretty much as quickly as you want. Whereas the SMG is a little bit more quiet. That's the rifle, guys. So you can throw that down with backspace. And then over here, we've got the shotgun, which is also pretty cool. This is called the Grav Push 12 gauge. And it uses the drum magazine. Just hit E. Pick that up. And it may already be loaded. And you can see on the weapons, if a magazine's loaded, it'll show the number of rounds that it currently has. So this one has 12. Yeah, drop to 11. And with the shotgun, it's pretty powerful. It's sort of basically like a sport rifle, but it's for close range. And any further out ranges, you're going to have some holdover. You can see how low that round hits, so you'll need to aim up here. Any weapon that you first pick up is going to be frequently jamming because it needs to be cleaned and maintained. But as you can see, you need to hold over to hit center. It's got a lot of rounds, so it's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pick the rifle back up and walk over here and grab me some rifle mags. And he gives you lots of ammo, so you can have a grand old time down here if you want. Let's see, I just need one rifle mag, I think, for this one. And then got just a couple different items here. And now, if you want, you can go out here too. I don't recommend it, but you can. I just want to look and see if that's the neck guard. No, it's not. Let's jump real quick. Let's do a crouch jump. You Gary's Mod players know what that is. So this is, yeah, it's a Nox silencer, it says. Equip SMG NOx silencer SO9. So that's the Grav Push 12, and that's the sport rifle. And then this rifle here is called the Lear A15. And like I said, that pistol there is the ESH. So that's those guns, and then we're going to move on to the next area. This will be the final area, and this will be the end of training. It's not going to take you guys this long. It's taking me longer because I'm showing you in depth each thing, so you'll fully understand it when you're playing. While I'm testing, of course. Next area is going to introduce you to the airlocks. When you come into the airlock, you can't go outside yet because you need pressure equalization. So we're going to close this helmet. And now that the helmet's closed, now we're going to be using oxygen. You'll see the air tank start to drop. And it is. And now we'll hit start. See what it says in green, visor closed, under helmet on. Suit tightness is 100%, that's important. If your suit tightness is not 100%, you're going to use more faster. For the purpose of this training, that's not a concern. Okay, and then we're coming outside here. So this plant here is an amanita, brown amanita. You can eat these. And then if you come over here, you can actually break into this. You can use a crowbar, or you can use a hammer. Use the crowbar. Hammer 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Crowbar's 3 minutes. So we'll just hit break in. Keep in mind we are using air. And then you just hit D, and you can access the different parts that are inside the drone. And then if you want, you can come this way and shoot this little slug. You don't need to. I'm just showing you that this stuff is here. And then all they want you to do is right over here says make sure you have the right resources. It wants you to basically just sleep for 1 hour outside. So we're going to use a little bit of air. That's fine. So it uses almost half your air for 1 hour. So don't make a habit of trying to sleep outside. And then over here is the fire barrel. We're going to get shot at before we end up using that, I think. Maybe not. So the stakes earlier that I was showing you guys. So you just have the storm matches and piece of coal. That's all you need. Press E on this here. And then all it wants you to do is add the food, which if we had a steak, we would do so. And we can get one from that slug. over here real quick. Pop him. That new mag we put in. These three dealing. We used the combat knife to turn them. Just grab one of these steaks. Now I'll show you the fire barrel. Very easy to use. Press E. And then under the food, you can just place it here. Popped it right on. And then all you gotta do is click fuel, drag your fuel over, and then just click light fire. Fire's on. And it says raw slug steak. When the fire starts heating up, it should start cooking this steak here. What I recommend to you guys is light the fire first. I'll take that slug steak off, light the fire first, and then we'll put the slug steak on. And that'll start the cooking process. Because if you don't do that first, sometimes the cooking process doesn't start. And we can let this cook to 100%. We don't have to, but we've got a little sentinel over here to just defeat. He's nothing to worry about anymore. You've got all this other stuff that you can. Right. Let's try to eat it while the visor is closed. I know better than that. I don't know why this is really here, because at this point you actually have to offload everything. This is the space backpack. This one actually holds 100 kg. But I'm gonna wait for this one to cook for a second. But I'll show you up here before we complete this. It's gonna make you offload everything. It says, please leave the center to complete and pass the training. Before leaving, deposit all collected items from your inventory and keep the connected battery, air cylinder, and helmet. Cost of training materials used during it will be deducted from your remuneration. But yeah, at that point the training's over and you just hit that start button. However, I'm gonna wait for this steak to cook. And it's 101, so it's baked at this point. If you leave it on 150, it'll burn. I'm gonna take that steak, I'm gonna go ahead and eat it. Just to eat it. Okay. Oh, that's right. You can't eat it outdoors. So we'll come back inside real quick and then I'll eat it. Just to show you how much it gives you for food. See, if I try to eat that steak right now, it's probably still not going to eat it. Open the visor. And you get a considerable amount of food from these. So these are actually pretty valuable. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that those are definitely worth getting. Because at some point you will run out of food the longer you're... So it wants us to open this door before we go back out. So let that door close and reset the airlock. As soon as this closes, it's going to give the option to start. And then all we're going to do is just walk over to that box, offload all of our gear, and then be done. And that's training done. Of course, you need to Have your visor
Low
closed when you're
oxygen
injured.
level. Check the cylinder connection or replace it with a full one.
Oh
Low
no!
oxygen level. Check the cylinder connection or
Oh no!
replace it with a full one.
It's alright.
Low oxygen level. Check the cylinder connection or replace it with a full one.
I know what I'm doing. Don't worry.
Low oxygen
Yes, we don't have
level.
any
Check
more
the
air, but
cylinder
it's okay.
connection or
It'll be
replace
fine.
it with a full one.
So now I get to show you guys how to use the body stabilizer.
Low oxygen level.
Double click it.
Check the cylinder connection
It's gonna
or
stop
replace it with a full
all the
one.
damage. And then while that's doing that, that'll buy us just enough time.
Low oxygen level. Check the cylinder
Get back into the
connection
facility
or
and grab that
replace
other
it with
air
a full
tank that I
one.
put on charge.
Low oxygen level. Check the
Just so you
cylinder
guys know, you have to
connection
pay
or
whenever that
replace it with a
happens,
full
so.
one. Low oxygen level. Check the cylinder connection or replace it with a full one.
And so what you have to watch
Check the cylinder
is
connection
pretty important is
or
that
replace
pain.
it with a full one.
If the pain continues to go down, you need to get that taken care of pretty quick or you'll pass out.
Low oxygen
So
level.
we'll use
Check
the
cylinder
trauma
connection
kit for
or
the
replace it
purpose
with a
of
full one.
tutorial to show you how it works.
Low oxygen level. Check the cylinder
And she's going to
connection
continue to
or
say
replace
that
it
even
with a
after I
full one.
grab oxygen.
Low oxygen level. Check the cylinder connection or replace it with a full
Now
one.
we'll grab that. It'll say breathe. Let me close the visor.
Low.
Now it's saying breathe. Now we're on air. Good to go. But we're indoors, so now we can open that visor. Let's go ahead and deal with this pain. Go to med gear. Use the trauma kit. Yeah, he was in considerable pain. Okay, now lung damage. For the purpose of the tutorial, I'll show you how the inhaler works here. Let's go to med gear. And we're done. Close the visor. Visor's closed. Wait for that door to close. So the reason why we ran out of air out here so fast is because I was using air when I was down there, and then when I came out here I slept, which used the majority of the air. So those little drones on the tripod, though, those can be pretty dangerous because they cause bleeding. And they also cause fracture, and they open your suit, which causes you to lose lots of air quickly. So when you're done fighting those, immediately patch your suit. And we'll go ahead and just offload all the materials. Pretty much anything that isn't my helmet, my air tanks, or my battery needs to go into this container. Just like that. And so now all we have under the lot is just what we have on us. We can leave. And then all you do is go through or approach the door. There's still a bug with the helmet and the head disappearing, which he's gonna probably address that. Complete training in 1 day, 12 hours, 12 minutes, and 33 seconds. And that concludes the stream for playtest of training. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and good luck with your training. And if you do encounter the problem with not being able to continue on from the ferret room. Try crafting a bunch of bandages. If your cloth disappears, there are some other cloth items, but I'm sure as soon as I tell him about this, if he doesn't already know about this, he'll patch that. So I was just doing it just to see if I could do it. But that is the training. That is how it's supposed to work. And that's how it will work as soon as he's aware of what's going on with that. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Peace.